All right. We are here. Wonder if this is live. Let's go. All right. I'm, the crazy one, always running a little bit late here. We should be. Yeah, we're live. Okay, good. I'm going to forward this real quick. Give me 2 quick seconds. All right, let's rock. Better late than never. All right. Do as I say, not as I do, right? One of my friends told me, you need to quit saying that so you don't like live by it. I don't mean to live by it. It just happens. All right. I'm pulling up our PowerPoint today. I love our content today. And just so you know, it is a little bit shorter. So although we're starting a little bit late, we should have finished early. We might be finishing on time now. But it should be a little bit shorter than normal. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Let me get my stuff together. Here we go. Creating your messaging playbook. So I find that either you have no idea what messaging is, or you are, not you, but people in general are just confused about, well, I don't know what that means. I don't know if I have my message or what is my messaging or any of that. So we're going to go over that today. We're going to talk about the 5 essential elements every brand needs. Get your pen and paper ready. It is an acronym this week. What else? Just how you can really get your messaging down. And I think it's really important to understand that about yourself and your brand so that your clients understand that about yourself and your brand. Let's dive in. All right, so what is it really and why do coaches need to nail it? So we're first going to go over all of the reasons why messaging is important to you. Why do you even need to worry about it? What's the big deal? Who cares, right? I'm putting out content. What's the problem? Here's a little Eric Leary quote for you. Life's greatest treasures are the experiences we gather, the adventures we embark on, and the moments of togetherness we cherish. I want you to remember that. I think I brought it up again later. But this quote is one of my favorite Erica's quotes. I always suggest you quote yourself. And the reason I love this quote is because I think it embodies who I am and what I'm all about. So if we look at it again, life's greatest treasures are the experiences we gather. So all the things we do throughout life, right? The adventures we embark on. So I am curious. I can go down the rabbit trail. Starting my own business, I think that's an adventure. I moved to Panama. That's an adventure. Traveling, whatever. All of that is exciting to me. And it's, who I am at the core. And the moments of togetherness we cherish. And so those of you that know me know that, at least with my clients, one of my best parts about what I do is the community that I gather, right? I love being around people that love being around each other. I don't know how else to say that. So I'm all about the family gatherings. I'm all about doing things with people you know, like, and trust and love, depending on, what environment you are. So the moments of togetherness we cherish. Growing up, we did car rides in my family, and my mom, if you've never heard me talk, made everything an experience. So even car rides, like some people hate being in the car. To this day, I love road trips, love them. And, I slept a lot in the car on road trips. And you're like, well, why did you love road trips? Because my parents would wake us up every time there was anything to see, anything at all. We were going under one of those tunnel bridges, 2 a.m. in the morning. They would wake us up. We're going under the tunnel. And they would make it this like huge experience, like this exciting thing to be on this car ride. One time I remember we were driving through Virginia and it started snowing. I think it was maybe the first time I'd ever seen snow. We stopped the car, we got out, and we had a snowball fight in the middle of a trip. My dad was a trooper. Anyway, those are the types of moments, and experiences that I love and gather and want to create and keep going with. So that, in a nutshell, is the essence of Erica. All right, so the benefits of messaging. The first one is it clarifies your identity and your niche. So one of the things that happens when we start talking, when we start putting ourselves out there, when we actually get in action is voice. We find our voice. We find what we love to talk about. We find what really hits with us when we start saying it. And then we start finding that we're repeating the same things. So you may hear me say the same things. Like I always talk about getting 1% better or putting in 110%. You know, those are two things that I say all of the time. So when you start repeating the same things over and over again, people will start repeating them. You know, I work a lot with Coach Mike. He repeats a lot of the things I say because I repeat myself a lot. And I want you to start doing that too, so that your clients can start repeating what you're saying. And when they repeat it, it's because they get it, they like it, they resonate with it. So when you've got that clarity, you know who you're talking to, they're going to start resonating with what you're talking about. So again, in my niche, a lot of my coaches and entrepreneurs, they also are very into getting 1% better every day, putting in 110%, making sure that they are giving it their all, that type of thing. So not only does it resonate with me, but it resonates with my clients. All right, the second benefit is it conveys a value and the transformation that you offer. So the more you talk about what you do and the more you say it in your messaging, the more they will understand what that outcome is. So a lot of times you'll hear me, I take experts, build their personal brand and turn it into thought leadership. And why do I distinguish between the two? Because when you become a thought leader, what happens? People start coming to you. And that is the whole, the whole goal of what I want to happen for you. I want your perfect clients to start reaching out to you so that you're not having to reach out to them all of the time. So because I repeat that all the time, you know, that's what I'm really after for you. And that's what I want you to really be after. You may never have even thought of being a thought leader. And you're like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. It's not because of that. It's because I want people coming to you. And that's what most of, I would say, my clients are after and what they want. So you want to make sure you get that. So effective messaging helps them understand what it is that you want to happen to them and what that transformation is along the way. All right, next one. Differentiates you from your competition. So this is the one where everybody gets all confused, and we're going to dive into this a little bit later. But you need to differentiate from your competition. I always tell my clients, here you are right here in that sea of sameness. We need to pop you up here so that you stand out from that crowd. You don't have to be all the way up here. You can be here. You can stay there. You can get to 7-figure right here, I promise you. So you can get up here if you want, but it's not even necessary for most of the mere mortals like myself. So differentiation, you want to know that that in that crowded market, when you highlight your approach, all right, you see, I do not recommend showing up late. However, in my approach and in what I do, you know, I show up messy. I put it out there. I just go for it. I do it. And I want the same for my clients. That's something that, not that I want you to show up late. I don't want you to do that. I, of course, want you to have your, PowerPoints for perfect with no typos, blah, 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 but it doesn't happen. If you're doing, you're never going to be perfect. And I don't want you to be, and I don't want you to have an audience that expects you to be. Why? Because you'll never get anything done. I want you to go, 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 go. Fix it along the way. Go back and be like, oh, that was bad. And fix that typo so that the next time you do it, it's better. Improve on what you're doing, but don't make it perfect out of the gate. Improve, 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 improve. That's better, right? So you know that about me. You know that I'm like, no regrets. That's a big philosophy, I would say, that I have in my life. My mom, again, instilled that in me. Is no regrets. You move forward, learn from what happened, but you can't take it back. So don't dwell on it. It's control what you can control is also another one that I talk about a lot, because people will sit around and stress out or ruin their day because it's raining. You can't control that. Don't let that ruin your day. So control what you can control. If you are in debt out the wazoo, if you sit around worrying about that, it's not going to fix your debt. So what can you control? You can control what you're doing right now. You can't control that you got in all that debt. It's done. It's over. Move forward. How can you move forward? I'm not saying dismiss it. I'm saying take the first step to start building your business so that you make enough money to pay off that debt and do all the other things you want to do. All right. So when you talk about your approach, your philosophy, how your results are different. I want you to be into thought leadership. There are plenty of people who tell you you don't need to put content out there. I disagree. I want you to put your own content out there. Again, control what you can control. I want you to control your message. I want you to I want you to control what you put in front of others so that they understand exactly. It's super clear because you're putting it out there all of the time. You're telling them exactly. You want to be able to control how they see that your results are different. That once you build this, it's not a fly by night. You're building a business when you work with me. You are building assets when you work with me. You're not just building something to get quick money, although we work on that too. That's not what it's all about. It's about building your assets in your business so that maybe you can have somebody come in after you. Maybe you can sell it. Maybe, you have all these things that you can outsource and take a smaller part role in your business. I'm all about automating and systems later on, but there's a lot that you need to put into it yourself. You cannot automate at the beginning. Well, a little bit, but not the most. All right. So those are things I believe. There are plenty of people. One of my coaches that I follow thinks you don't even need content. It's not that important. I disagree, right? Other people think that you can make money really, really quickly. Maybe you can, but if you're not also building the foundation of your business through the content that you're building, the community that you're building, if you're not building all of that, you don't have those assets. Know from experience, right? All right. Oh, next one. I'm going to talk about all this without pushing the slides here. So the next one builds trust and credibility. So you want people to know that you want people to get to know you. How's that? I'm big. You'll see me talk about know, like, and trust. You may say, oh, that's so cliche. It's cliche, but is everybody using it? Are you using it? Are you doing everything you can in your daily content or business to make sure that people know, like, and trust you? You want to be doing that in a lot of different ways. I don't do it in every way, right? There are places where we can all improve, and this is one of the ones where I can improve. I put myself out there so most people know, like, and trust me because they see enough of me. But then I forget to put up testimonials, and I don't go back and edit the videos and clip them out and blah, 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 blah. I don't do a lot of that stuff. That's okay. You can't do it all. You don't have time. So build that credibility and trust. You can do it through testimonials I mentioned, through case studies I mentioned. You can also do it by showing up. And not just in videos, but live. Let people see you mess up. Let people hear you stutter and forget what you were talking about. I don't know if you saw my last one that I did, but I think I forgot what I was talking about every 3 slides. That's all right. Let people see you mess up. We are normal, not anything better or above or different. Everybody, can do this in different ways. So let people see that about you. All right, the next one. Benefits of messaging. We're talking about how it facilitates client engagement and retention. So your messaging lets them know that you want to help them, how you can help them, how you can continue to help them. So I may not talk about this enough, but in my business, my intro or my signature product is all about building your content out. But I have a million and one things in the back end of that. Do I talk about it all the time? Not really. But I do mention how much I love systems, how much I love automation. So you probably know that I have that running in the back end, that I have that on there. So it can build that. It can let you know what's coming. What else? I'm looking at my notes. Oh, when you talk about their needs and their challenges. So I know that you get super distracted. when I talk about that, it helps you realize that's why I have a big portion of my coaching that deals with time management, productivity, because we're all a little squirrel. Yours truly also right up there with you, and that's because, when I go back to the things that are important to me, that curiosity is something I don't want to squish. I do not want to get rid of that. But there are times when I need to focus it in and get focused on what I'm doing. So there's a time and a place for everything, right? All right. Did I get everything through there? So they're more likely to, your clients are more likely to stick with you and stay with you. Number one, if they know, like, and trust you, but if they're engaging with you because you resonate with them. And so that engagement and retention is all about you resonating with them. If you understand who they are and what they're all about, and you're talking about their pain points, their challenges, trying to get on time, or, getting enough content out there, whatever it is. If you're talking about their challenges, then not knowing what messaging is, then they feel like you get them and you're not judging. You don't care. You just want to help them get through it. And you want to be able to do that with your clients as well. All right, the next one is, guides, marketing, and content strategies. So your messaging guides your marketing and content strategies. I'm going to go into this a little bit more on down the line, but and all of your messaging should guide everything that you do. It's your vision, your mission, right? It's part of your messaging. All of that is part of your messaging. And why does it guide it? Because your value ladder, where you want to meet them at, all of that is going to go into your marketing and content strategy. What else? Okay, earlier I talked about how I repeat myself a lot, and sometimes I do it on purpose. Sometimes I make sure that I repeat that particular thing at that particular time, and sometimes I don't do it on purpose. Why? Because it's part of my messaging and it just comes out. And so I talk a lot about financial independence, or just independence. If you've heard my story, you know that I was way more concerned about location independence and time independence than I was about financial independence for a lot of years. Don't know why. Probably I can guess a couple of reasons, but that it is what it is. So I talk a lot about financial independence. A lot of people my age are now looking to start using their expertise to put themselves out there. And so that's the type of people that I attract. So retirement might be something I mention a lot, or how we can do this not full-time or part-time, or and that means if you're working corporate right now and you're trying to get your business started, now is the perfect time. Get it going. Start making as much money in your side business as you are in your real business before you ever even retire. Because a lot of people are like, I don't want to quit my job. I get that. I totally get that. Most of my friends are not me. My circle of friends, in Atlanta, the circle of friends, nobody owns their own business. So they are not me. They are a lot of the corporate, I would never quit my job type, but start that business now on the side. And that way, when we do retire, at 55, at 60, whatever your age is, you've got something to do and an income, but you can maybe do it in 4 hours. You don't have to do it 40 hours a week. Everybody's going to set theirs up differently. Anyway, whoa, that was a serious tangent about one of my messaging, but you get the point. So marketing and content strategies, everything that we want to talk about, we want to make sure it's focused in on that. So I focus in on making sure that I talk a lot about your personal branding and the importance of that, not only today, but tomorrow, in building the business and building the assets. I've mentioned a million times somebody like Elon Musk, who can start a business today, start a totally different business in a totally different market, and start it right off the bat. Why? Because of his personal branding. People know, like, and trust him. You can do the exact same thing. And your personal branding goes way, way deeper than just your products that you're talking about right now. Let's see. Ah, look at the bottom right one. I'm like, what is this one? It makes people say, hey, me. It makes people take that leap of faith in you, your products, your business, your ideas. It makes people want to say, take me with you. I'm all in. Call me. Give that to me. You know, you ever do those engagement posts and you say, drop messaging if you want a list of the top messaging things or the things we talked about on this presentation. So drop messaging if you want that, and I will send it right over to you. So what else? It drives your clients to start taking action, to take action of their own. That's hopefully your goal, right? You want your clients to start taking action. You want to see conversions in what you're doing and then in turn in what they're doing. So if they understand what makes you so different, if they understand your philosophy and you know how you want them to just jump into it, push forward and go for it and start getting themselves out there and to really get their voice. And you're not so concerned about being so perfect at the beginning, because to get your voice, it's this little motion of putting yourself out there, putting yourself out there, putting yourself out there. And then you're like, oh my God, this is it, and full steam ahead. That's what I want from my clients. And I can't tell you how many of them pivot when they're with me. Why? Because I give them the space to be able to start and then pivot. And that's what you need. Maybe you don't, but that's the space that I do give my clients. And maybe something that you want to think about to give your clients. All right. So drives their action, the likelihood that they will convert it from a prospect into a client so that they will raise their hand. The more you realize that I understand you, the more you're going to be like, yeah, she's the one that can take me to that next level. She's the one that can get me there. All right, next one. Enhance referrals and word of mouth. So that bottom one. So word of mouth. You want this. I am a marketer at heart, and I will tell you, I don't want you to rely solely on referrals and word of mouth. They are the best forms of marketing. So why don't I want you to rely on them? Because you can't rely on them. You have no idea when your client is going to bump into somebody and a conversation is going to start and they're going to be like, oh yeah, you need to call Erica. Oh yeah, that's the one. You need to call Erica. You don't know when somebody's going to be like, God, I'm floundering around and I can't figure out why. And they're like, you probably need a personal brand. And then eventually, you know, move yourself into becoming a thought leader. Call Erica. I want that to happen, but you can't rely on it. So until it's a system of being able to get your clients in, you need that messaging to carry you through to be able to do all of the other things. But the messaging enhances word of mouth and referrals. Why? Because if you're repeating it all the time, now they can repeat it. They can use your words and repeat what you're saying about you, about your business, about your products. You can turn to somebody and say, oh, you're talking about personal branding? Erica, she rocks. You'll love her. Blah, 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 blah. Right? If you know somebody who does sales, oh, Dan, he's amazing. You're an introvert, zero stress. That's what he specializes in. You see how that is? So if you know somebody that does something, you're going to be able to say it if they say it all the time. If they're not feeding you the messaging, it's really hard for us to just put it all together. And I mean, I'm known to get stuck in that sometimes myself. Why? Because a lot of times we skip over it because it's already in our head. We have to take it back a notch, you know, have somebody else look at what you're doing. Have somebody else see what you're doing and say, yeah, that's so clear. I have no idea. What? You know, like the dog, my dog, when I start having a full out conversation with my dog, yes, I do that. He starts going like this. It's like he's trying to understand me, but just can't. All right. All right. Benefits of messaging. Is this the last one? No, enhances. Oh yeah, supports pricing strategies. All right. This supports positioning and pricing. Why? Because if you are positioning yourself where you want to position yourself, and that's by who you're speaking to, how you're saying it, the words that you're saying, the scenarios that you're bringing into it, that's how you are positioning yourself in the market. And that means you are Walmart or Louis Vuitton, whatever it is. There are extremes. You can be in the middle. It doesn't really matter, but you still need to position yourself. You still need to know where that value is and how much you should charge for it. And if you're standing out in the crowd, you can charge more because you know that people want to come to you. They want to be in your energy, in your positivity, in your world, in a community that even your community thinks is the most amazing thing in the world, right? Not just you because you're biased, but they want to be around that. So you can charge more because of all of that if they understand it, if they know it, and if it's not just in your head where sometimes we leave it. So we want to make sure that we get that messaging out there. So it's not just in our head, but in what we say, and what we show, and what we do, and how we show up in our products, in our colors, right? My colors are part of my messaging. You guys get it? It's loud, just like me. These 3 colors are mine: the pink, the blue, the yellow. Should I put them all on the same page? Nope. Do I? All the time. All right, let's go. And this is the last one. Your messaging can adapt to your client evolution. And I want to say your evolution and your client evolution. And that's kind of what I was talking about at the beginning. A lot of my clients get scared that they need to be this person for the rest of their life. Well, once I decide that's who I need to be, that's not true. I mean, if you're Coca-Cola, you're probably not going to, drastically change who you are over your life. But my messaging has pivoted, probably dialed in, but I've been talking about the same thing. I will be honest with you, for 10 years, maybe not at least, probably 10 years. And my messaging's changed, but my core stuff has not changed. Why? Because I haven't. I am Erica. What has changed? My 1%. I'm getting 1% better every day. My knowledge, my skills, my personal development, all of that is getting 1% better every day. And that has changed. So I am evolving, as are my clients evolving. And so sometimes my messaging might move up with my clients. Depends on where you want to be. But it can. And that's okay. All right, we're to it. How far are we in? Ooh, we gotta hurry. So the key messaging framework. That was just the benefits, but I wanted you to understand how important it is to really get the messaging. And hopefully I gave you a pretty big picture of what your messaging is and how you can figure that out. And if I didn't, DM me. Say, I still have no idea. Wait till I go through the whole presentation, then tell me. But let me know below now, how much clarity do you have now in comparison to when you started? So just say halfway through and then put your number. Beginning with 2% clarity, now I'm at a 6. Or beginning with 2, now I'm at an 8. Wherever you are right now, I want to hear that. Put it down below. And let me know that you're halfway through first. All right. Well, we're more than halfway through, but you got it. Key messaging framework. This is it. Let's go. First letter. V, value proposition. You've heard this over and over and over, but do you know what it means? And are you using it? I talk a lot about, I have a small little language school in Panama, and we teach English to Spanish speaking students. We also do some other things, but that's one of the things we do, teaching English to Spanish speaking students. And so one of the things that when you learn English, I want to hear, how many of you have taken Spanish classes? How many of you have taken Spanish classes? And you learn the verbs ser and estar. In English, it's the verb to be. I still do not use ser and estar bien, right, all the time. I still don't get the difference. Well, when I teach English or my teachers are teaching English, they teach the verb to be. And I can't tell you, I took 180, like I took classes in English forever. And they always taught the verb to be. And I'm like, why do they keep teaching the verb to be? I just like, how many times am I going to learn the stupid verb to be? The reason is nobody ever gets it. They don't use it correctly. And so until you're using it correctly, then you really haven't learned it. They need to come up with a better way to teach it, maybe, but that's a whole nother topic. So value proposition, you may have heard it a million times, but are you using it correctly? So on the bottom, I put a little bit of a clarifying thing. Why do people want to work with you more than anyone else? Why do they want to work with you more than anyone else? So if someone, example, if someone is like, I just want to make, money really quickly. I don't care necessarily about forming relationships. I don't care about the people I work with or talk to or any of that. Then working with me is not probably a thing that they're going to do. Why? Because it takes work and time, effort, introspection. It takes a lot of stuff to really do this right. And can I give you some quick ways to do some quick wins at the beginning? Yes, but it's still within the way that I work. So why do people want to work with you more than any others? Maybe you're the one that has that super fast thing where they don't have to actually talk to anybody or know anybody or do anything. Maybe you've got that, and that is your value proposition. So think of your value proposition. What can you offer? And how fast can you get them there? So I take my clients from expert, starting their personal branding, into thought leadership in 90 days. And I never stop there. Why do I not stop there? Because that's not, nobody's real end goal is, oh, I want to be a thought leader. Well, some people maybe, but most people, it's not, I want to be a thought leader. But what do they want? They want a consistent flow of clients, right? So if you look at like my Facebook group, it's telling you more clients, more money, more consistency. That's what we want. And so then we work on those systems and the consistency and yada, 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 yada. But you got to start somewhere. All right. Peace. The kids love that. Peace. Pursuing excellence, achieving through coaching, embracing experience. That is me. Does everybody understand how that is so Erica? That is so Erica, the 1%, right? Coaching. Anybody who's ever been in my coaching, I was like a born coach. I love coaching. I actually didn't ever want to teach. And the first time I got in a classroom, which was about the same time I started my digital marketing agency, not advertising, sorry, digital marketing agency, I also started teaching English at that same time. The minute I stepped into a classroom, I lit up and I literally just shined. I have an ability to go off the cuff, which if you know me well, you know I can do that. I'm not recommending it all the time. I do try to prepare my slides and everything, but I do have a great ability to be able to go off the cuff and be able to keep people and move people in a direction through my coaching. And it's just something that I was born with. Can I get better as a coach? Absolutely. And that's why I pair up with people like Mike Harrison. He is an amazing coach and has coaching skills that I want, right? So I want to learn from him, but that's my 1%. I'm still giving 110% every day, putting myself out there. So I went through those first two, right? Pursuing excellence, achieving through coaching, and embracing experience. I want people in my world to have fun, to feel that positivity, to feel that energy, to get an experience every time they come into my world. That's what I want in a nutshell. And that peace is what everybody feels when they are around me, and what they, whether they can say it like this. I'm saying it like this because I know that that's what I'm after. And whether somebody repeats this about me, no way. They're never going to remember this. It's about me. But they get that essence, right? Should I put the next one in? Oh, I have another one later. All right. So I want to read you my quote again. Life's greatest treasures are the experiences we gather, the adventures we embark on, and the moments of togetherness we cherish. Can you see how that goes into what I just said? Pursuing excellence, achieving through coaching, embracing experience. Can you see how that is still just me? It's all about me. And so now I just said all about me. But is it, right? I mean, this is who I am, but not all about me. It's about you, right? I've got that coaching in there and excellence in there because I am at my best when I see eyes light up, when I see aha moments, when I see somebody finding their voice and getting there, and now they're like, oh my God, I've got it, 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 and I'm all in. I'm at my best when I see somebody, they started off here, they moved up here, and they're rocking and rolling, but they're like, I still want to get to here, right? And now they've got that plan and their eyes light up. And now we're moving them up to here and then up to here. I love that. I love that. And that happens at every single level, which is amazing, amazing. So I love that. Anyway, that's what it's all about. Experiences, adventure, togetherness. I should change those colors, right? All right, we're on O. Intended outcome. Just stay ahead. Just ahead is your outcome. So what do they get? What do they achieve when they work with you? Well, most of mine want consistent clients. That's what they get. They get in a consistent flow of clients. They get confidence. They find their voice. They get clarity. They become thought leaders. They grow assets, right? They grow assets. And if you never study business, maybe you have no idea why I'm saying that. But if you wanted to exit your business and have somebody else buy it out, could they buy your personal brand? Probably not. But can they buy your assets? 100%. 100%. You know, if you've built an entire business around a specific theme or topic or something, they can buy out those assets. All those emails, all those Facebook groups or school groups or whatever it is that you have. Would I sell out? No, if I did it, it would be like 10 years down the road. Don't get nervous. I'm not doing that. And I would definitely let you know. But that does happen a lot of times. You know, the big companies, they look for companies our size or bigger, or smaller to buy because they want those audiences. That's why businesses are sold for, you know, 7 million as opposed to 200,000. Just that reason alone, an active, engaged audience. All right, do they KLT you? Do they know, like, and trust you? So we did V was value proposition. O was outcomes and benefits. I, identity and authenticity. So there's a lot out there with AI, and I love it. My ChatGPT, his name is Rico Suave, in case anybody's wondering. And I use another one now that I love, Pi.ai. Hey, Pi. So, oh, shout out to Rocky. She's the one that told me about Pi.ai. Anyway, so I is identity and authenticity. You cannot show people who you really are, without getting on video, without letting them hear your voice, and without doing live video. Because if you're doing scripted video, which I do too, I'm not saying I don't, but if that's the only thing that you do, are they really getting to know you? I always try, even if I'm doing a little bit of scripted video, to put a little bit of me in there, because I want you to know it's still me. It's still, you know, my crazy laugh, my, what did somebody say? My eyelashes were obnoxious, my obnoxious eyelashes. Somebody put that under one of my reels the other day. So, yes, and I love them. Thank you. I'm wearing these for me, not for you. All right, so identity and authenticity. Are they authentic? Do they show their real selves in front of you? You want to really know them. You want them to really know you too. Why? If you're a coach like me, you want to work with people who get you. You don't want to work with somebody who's like in the background going, oh my God, her eyelashes are so obnoxious. Or she laughs so loud. Erica, you need to tone it down. You really need to tone it down. I don't want somebody in my world that's always saying that. I mean, if a coach tells me that for my benefit, that's one thing. But my clients, I want my clients to crack up because I'm so loud. I want that to make them laugh, not to be like, oh, geez, I can't stand it. I can't go on another one of her group calls because she gets so excited. She gets louder and louder and faster and faster. I can't have clients that think that. You don't want that either. So show your true self. Let them know who you really are. Be authentic. Show your true identity. Please do. All right, C, VOI. So V, value proposition. O, outcomes and benefits. I, identity and authenticity. C, connection and community. I put these both in the same because they were both C. Connection and community. Do you create a space for them? Why did I say this? So connection is going to be, are you relating to them? Remember, I'm creating connection with you because I understand your problems. I understand your challenges. I probably understand a lot of your dreams. I understand the spiral of, not moving forward and staying in that same place for forever and not being able to pull yourself out of that. I understand a lot of that. So I can relate to a lot of my clients, and my clients can relate to me because they see me do something crazy, like show up 5 minutes late by accident or 10 or however many it is sometimes. And they're like, oh my God, I get on 20 minutes early just to avoid that, but it's happened before. That's my goal, by the way. It doesn't happen, but it will. It will. I'm working on it. All right. So that's the connection and the community. You want to have a community. One of the things that I absolutely love about my community is the things that they say about it. They say, I feel very comfortable going in there and asking a question that I would not ask anywhere else because nobody's going to judge me. Nobody is going to be like, oh my God, why didn't you already know that? Or I've already said that 86,000 times, or she said that a million times. Nobody does that. Everybody's like, oh, okay, let's work on that. How can I help you with that? What would that look like for you? Everybody, not just me, the whole community. Why? Because that's how I am. And I want a community like that. I want to be able to move together, help each other, work with each other. I want people to be positive and energetic when they're in our community. So are you creating a space for them where they want to hang out, where they love being, where they would really miss if you just closed up shop and went away? All right, so connection and community. And that connection, again, is not just you to them. It's them to the community members. That's powerful for you and your business as well. All right, everybody knows what it is by now. There's only one letter left. Drop it. I forgot to tell you to drop it sooner, but drop it now if you know it. All right, E, engagement and action. So we want people in our world that are super engaged, but we need them to take action. Move forward, move forward, move forward. So is it a safe space? Is it a space where they're able to fail, where they can come back and say, oh my God, I just did this, this, and this, and it went, psh. Or I did this, and I know it's because I didn't do all these other things and I already know it. And then what? You're going to empathize with them. You're going to be like, yeah, I've had that happen before too. You're going to get it the next time, or, how can we help you get it the next time? Whatever. So you want them to be engaged, but you also want them to take action, move forward, and be able to come and talk about it. Is your space a safe space where they can come and say, I just messed up. Yep, I avoided saying that word. I just messed up bad. I don't actually curse, not even in my real life. Okay, that's a lie. Sometimes I do, and I'm overly excited, but most times I do not. Off on a tangent. Anyway, you want people to be encouraged to actively participate in your group and be engaged and stay engaged and feel okay saying what they would never say outside of your space. I mean, we don't want a sob scene. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about in business. If your space is a solve-seen space, go for it. Mine is not a solve-seen space. I elevate. That's one of my words. I elevate. So I want them to come out. It doesn't mean they can't come on and say the solve, but they're moving past the solve, right? We're moving right past that, getting over it, moving forward. How can we make this flip the script? You've heard me say that a million times, right? Power of the mind. I'm a huge believer in power of the mind. You can change what's going on, your beliefs and your behaviors. All right, here it is in a nutshell. You can take a screenshot if you want, or you can chat me and I can send it over, messaging. So value proposition, outcomes and benefits, identity and authenticity, connection and community, engagement and action. All right, I put this in here so that you would understand. Watch this. You got to go with the cheesy Erica way of saying things. Personal development, 1%. Personal connections, I love. Community, I love meeting people. I love coaching. That's personal connections, right? Personal branding, that's what I talk about. That's what I'm helping my clients do. Personal branding, thought leadership. Personal community. So not just those one-on-one connections, not just facilitating the connections, but in community as a whole. Can you see that this is who Erica is and what she's all about and what my messaging is all about? So when you hear me say 1% personal development, when you hear me say 110% personal branding or personal development, right? That means power of the mind. Get through it, jump over it, leap. Don't be one of those people that sits by the pool and sticks a toe in. Cannonball it, go for it. Don't worry about the splash. The towels will dry. So are the kids that you splashed. Don't stress out about it. All right, personal community. How are you going to create your thrive? That was a thriving community tribe. Thrive. It's a new word from Erica. You heard it here first. Thrive. All right, just kidding. Couple more things before we nod off. I'm sorry, I went way later. All right, enhanced element. So adding in social proof, case studies, things like that will really up your game, right? So enhanced elements. How can you up your game? Storytelling. Oops. That's the next slide. This one is adaptability and flexibility. How can you adapt your message? Is there something in the news? I love Taylor Swift. So during Super Bowl, I did some Taylor Swift stuff. That's adaptability, flexibility. Can you pivot a little bit if you need to? People were coaching before COVID. What did we do? Well, I was already doing mine online, but I don't know how much I pivoted my coaching, but if you were coaching, I pivoted my business. I adapted my offline business. I adapted and it became an online business. So adapt and overcome. That also means overcome, adapt and overcome, flexibility. That also means if somebody does something that you don't like, should you stew on it for the next 8 years? Or should you be a little flexible? Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe you give them the benefit of the doubt once or twice. I'm not saying let somebody in your world that is always a downer or always mean or always anything. But can you be a little bit adaptable, flexible, in your ways? Can you overcome any type of setback that you have had quickly? So we can overcome everything. Otherwise, we would be dead. So the one time you won't be able to overcome it, you won't be here to talk about it. But everything else we do overcome. But how long does it take us? Does it take us a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, a couple of days, weeks, months, years? There are some things that you don't get over. I mean, I don't want to go into more, sad discussions, but you lose a child, you'll never get over that. That's not something you move on from or get over. But can you, move forward? Can you move forward with your life? Can you find ways to still find happiness, find joy, achieve new things, find new goals. Yes, you can. And it's how quickly you can do those things. Obviously, that one will take a longer time, but it's how quickly you can bounce back. Did you lose, $5,000 running ads? How quickly are you going to bounce back? Are you going to run ads again tomorrow? Or are you going to wait 2 years, 3 years? So how quickly can you bounce back from it? And when you have community, when you have a coach or a mentor or somebody, an accountability buddy, somebody, maybe that's their role, is that they help you bounce back. But adaptability, flexibility will, I can't even tell you how much enhance your messaging, your branding, and your business. All right, this was the storytelling that I cheated and said first, but storytelling will help you with your brand. People want to get to know you. I tell little stories about my parents, they have both, since passed. So I talk about the things that, they've said to me or part of who I am is because of them, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go into that. So strategic planning. If you are strategic about when you tell your stories and how you tell your stories, I need to work on that part. Just a little bit of transparency. That's one of the places where I really need to work. Is I can do storytelling, but I'm not doing strategic storytelling as much as I need to be. And that's where I'm working on right now. So adding all of these things in, nobody's perfect. Nobody has nothing to work on. And I mean, if you think you have nothing to work on, that's cool. You do you. But the people in my world, they know we're all trying to get 1% better every single day. My issues and the things that I do wrong or bad, or those are probably not even good words to say, but the things that I don't do to the utmost of my abilities are not the same things that you don't do to the utmost of your abilities. But are we working on them together? Yes. Yes, we are. We rise better together. All right, that is the end of this presentation. I did not put some endings on here, so that is it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. If you want the steps about storytelling, let me know. I'd love to send them about storytelling, about messaging. Send them over to me. I'd love to send them to you. And I'd love to hear what, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at now? Tell me beginning, middle, and now ending. I'd love to hear if that changed while you went through this presentation and how it helped you. So send me a DM, write it in the comments. Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. Ciao, ciao.